This week, we feature the final episode in our series of New Mexico Makers, presented in conjunction with the national PBS program Makers, Women Who Make America. New Mexico's Governor Susana Martinez made history as the first Hispanic woman governor in the country. KNME correspondent Sarah Gustavus sits down with the governor to talk about the value of hard work, speaking one's mind, and what is both ordinary and extraordinary about being a New Mexico maker.
Governor Martinez, you're a groundbreaker. You're the first woman elected governor of New Mexico, and you're the first Hispanic female governor in the United States. The feminist movement, in a sense, seeks equal political, economic, and social rights for women. With that in mind, do you consider yourself to be a feminist?
A feminist? No. I consider myself a woman who has worked very hard to not be pigeonholed into a particular place, whether it be in the workforce or in the family, or but also being able to break through the glass ceiling of expectations. So I certainly see myself as a hard worker to accomplish things that maybe we weren't expected to accomplish as women. And so generally it's just an attitude of wanting to do the things that I want to do in life, and if it was a position that only men held, then it's something that I wanted to fight to do anyways, and I would push forward and do it and prove myself that I was worthy of that position.
Do you think some women came before you in the women's movement and made some of these things possible and accessible to you?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I mean, there are women who have taken on positions that you never expected, you know, whether it be to be police officers, to be firefighters, people who, women who, you know, just the right to vote, just to have a say-so, to not to be considered chattel like in many years ago. Absolutely, that there have been women who have paved the way. And I think as the first Hispanic female governor, I'm hoping that I can pave a path where little girls will say, you know, I've never seen that before. I'm Hispanic or I'm African American, and I know that that's possible. So it's important to me to do it the right way so that there's a path that they want to follow in their future, hopefully.
And in your career so far, I think some people would call you outspoken, speaking about your values, things that are important to you. Have you always been able to speak your mind in your career and in political life?
Oh, absolutely. At the age of 5, my grandmother used to call me la abogadita, which means the little lawyer. And as the little lawyer, it was because my brother says I spoke so well and spoke my mind. And certainly as an attorney, you know, when you're an attorney in a courtroom, you have limited time, and so you have to say what you have to say, be concise, and get to the point and advocate your position. Now, as governor, I think it's important that we're honest with the people that we serve. And we don't do this political speak. You're either for something or against something. And let people know where you are, and then accomplish what you told people you were going to do. And being outspoken is also to point out where people said they were going to support certain positions and didn't. And so they call it outspoken, I call it being truthful to the people I serve.
You know, a lot of women talk about the need to nurture and to take care of family members. Women often step up and take on that role. As governor, I've heard you speak about that. Do you think it's important to acknowledge that that's a part of your life as a female role model and political leader?
Oh, sure. You know, as a caretaker, my sister, that started many years ago. I was a young child, and we were latchkey kids, and so I took care of my sisters since we were very young, and took care of her during the summer times when my mom had to work. We were a two-family, you know, both parents had to work, and so I took care of my sister during the summertime. But now it's my responsibility, I think, as governor, certainly is to worry and take care of the children of the state first and foremost, to make sure that our kids are getting the best education they can, making sure the kids are given every opportunity that I was given, and given the ability to make choices for their future and not be stuck in one thing because that's the way it's been in their family. So as a woman, as a caretaker, as someone who cares about education, that's extremely important to me. And making sure they have jobs to go to when they get out of school, whether it be high school or college or vocational school.
In the Makers series that we're tying into, Women Who Make America, we're talking about how makers are both extraordinary and ordinary. How would you describe yourself in that, as both extraordinary and ordinary?
Well, certainly as ordinary. I am, as the governor, I am pretty much, very much like the average person that I went to high school with and who are my neighbors down in Las Cruces. I do my own grocery shopping. I do my own, some of my laundry. But extraordinary probably is the fact that I went to law school, the first one in my family to go postgraduate school, and that I was able to specialize in a field that very few people do for as long as I did. For 25 years, I specialized in prosecuting child abuse and physical abuse and child homicide cases. And to do it for 25 years and be as successful as I was at doing that, that's extraordinary, because it is a field that is very difficult to do for that long. But I stayed strong. I stayed strong to those children. And now I see them as grown-ups, and they come up to me and they say, "Do you remember me?" And for me, that is extraordinary, to say, you helped that stop in my life. And for me, that was the most rewarding thing ever.
Where did you draw your strength from in your career during that time? That sounds really difficult.
Well, I drew my strength certainly from my family upbringing and from my faith. And the strength comes from a balance in making sure that I made decisions knowing how much power comes behind it. You take people's liberty, but also the power of advocating for the little ones. And my faith got me through that.
What would you say to encourage other women who want to pursue a career, or maybe even want to go into political office, someone who might say that you're a role model for them?
It's not easy. It's a lot of sacrifice, and you have to have a supportive family. My husband is wonderful. He is extremely supportive in that he understands I'm here, there, and everywhere. And at times when he can join me, he can, but doesn't give me grief over it. But you have to have the fire in the belly. You have to have the fire in the belly to serve and to want to do this for all the right reasons. If you set politics aside and this talk of, I'm supposed to say this because I'm on this side of the party, I'm supposed to say that because I'm on this party. Talk about what is best for New Mexicans, the people you serve. Because once you're elected, you serve both parties. You serve everyone that has elected you. And some of them are from the other party. And so I think if you have the fire in the belly, you have the right reasons that you're doing and voting and pushing for a particular agenda, it can be very rewarding. It's not easy. There are lots of battles, but battles don't have to be personal, and they don't have to be ugly.
Governor Martinez, thank you for letting us showcase you as a New Mexico maker.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Local Makers Initiative is funded by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a private corporation funded by the American people.